what is up? Your girl G here. We are back on my channel and things look a little bit different. I know. I'm at my sister's house. I'm out of town right now. I'm doing a little bit of house sitting while they go on vacation. And not to mention, I know I'm coming a little bit late, but if you haven't noticed, your girl is fried, dyed, and laid to the side because I got my hair did. And I got a new purple magenta type fusion thing going on. I hope you guys can see it. You know, it looks a little bit, there you go, like that. Yeah, I hope you guys like it. And your girl's fine, because y'all was looking rough. Them roots, they weren't even roots no more. They're called roots. Okay, they was sticking up. Everything was bad. So I finally got my hair done, and for some of you guys, I know y'all been mentioning it like in the comments and stuff like that. You know, what do you do with your hair? So I recorded the process of my hair getting dyed, so I'm hoping I'll be able to edit it in a way that I can finally post it. If not, I'll just post like a before and after picture on my community page. But for right now, I'm trying to catch up and get into all these episodes from Sunday because the BET Awards came on Sunday, the virtual one, and I thought, you know, typically when they have award shows, they don't do like any other shows, but this still came on. 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, which we're going to talk about right now, and then Married to Medicine LA. Also have to do that as well. So like I said, we got not Married to Medicine, 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After we're going to talk about right now. This episode was really good. You know, everything was popping off. Oh, my here go my dog Chico running around. He found him a damn toy. And all the men on this show, throw them away. Throw them all away, okay? Because none of these men is worth the trouble that these women are having to put up with, okay? But I just want to say a quick thank you to all you who've been waiting on me, being patient. I'm sorry sometimes these episodes get a little bit delayed. You know, when I started this YouTube thing, you know, I just said, you know what, I'm going to just start it and just see what happens, you know. But it takes a little bit of work, especially with the editing and stuff like that. And, you know, having to find time to actually record in the midst of life going on. But I promise everything's always going to come to you guys. It might be late, but shit, I'm going to do it, okay? But no longer delay. Let's get into 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. So which couple should we start with? Let's start with, did it start with Colt and Larissa, I think? So Colty and Jess, they ended up making up. You know, there was a problem because she wanted to go to the party, the Brazilian party, and Colt wanted to stay home, basically have sex. Okay, and that wasn't happening. But she decided she was gonna give in and, you know, go to the hotel with Colt. But now they're walking around in the streets and basically discussing where things are gonna grow from here. And Colt is asking her, like, you know, what are the plans? You know, he's trying not to go super that serious because of, you know, he doesn't know whether she's gonna leave or not. And he starts asking her, like, you know, what are we gonna do? Like, what if you have to leave soon? She's like, oh, you know, it's okay. And they're already telling each other, I love you. That's crazy. Like, she's already, Jess ain't stupid. Jess is trying to work Colt like nobody's business. She knows he's a desperate Michelin marshmallow shaped ass white boy who now has this celebrity because of the show. And he's starting to use that to basically get the women that he's never had a chance with before. So basically, she's like, I can do another visa. And he's like, okay, you know, she's like, work visa. And she looked at him, and then she like, K1, and then she looked at him, and it's like, bitch, you really tried to throw the K1 visa out there? Like, girl, y'all only been on 3 dates. Like, this girl is really, Jess and Larissa are in the same exact situation, if you notice. They gotta hurry up and find them a man, or them bitches about to get deported. You know, Trump and loved that deportation, them immigrants and stuff like that. He loved doing that. So Colt's like, you know, I'm not trying to get into that. I'm not rushing or nothing like that. And then, you know, they also had that battle. She was, because of going out, he was like, oh, you know, you're not just gonna go out. But she's like, I'm Brazilian, you know, we go out and party. So, you know, maybe not today, but next week. Basically compromise, okay? If you're gonna be with a Brazilian woman, you gotta know that they're not just gonna stay at home and play with the cats all day, Colt. That's not what they're gonna do. So now they're in the midst of trying to figure out how this is going to work, but she does want to take Colt back home to her family. That's what she said, and for him to meet the dad. Now, she went out with her friends and said, you know, later on that day and talked about everything and was like, oh, he's going to meet the family. And they're like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to tell him about Larissa? And she's like, no, my dad does not need to know all of that. Colt's past is not it. She can't be telling her dad, oh, hey, he had a wife that beat the hell out of him and got arrested 3 times. And they fought all the time, because then the dad's probably going to think, okay, that's what's going to happen with my daughter, you know? So the friends are just like, girl, you better figure this out. Now moving on to Larissa. Larissa is with her friend who does all the like the beauty stuff or whatever. She wants to get like the little ab crunch machine done. It's like the electrical pulses. You know, Larissa's been spending a lot of money on that body of hers, but I'm sitting here confused because you talking about, oh, I need money, you know, to send back to my family and for all this type of living arrangements, and you just called your daddy and asked for money. But bitch, you spending money all on your stuff. Like, you spending money all on these procedures. Girl, you can wait to get that Botox shot next month. Like, it is not that serious, girl. But she ends up telling her friend, oh, you know, I saw Koti, I got a girlfriend. And the friend's like, well, I mean, are you jealous? And at first she tried to say no. But then it's like, you're saying you're not jealous, but you're already saying that you want to call the girl and say how Colt is manipulative and what she's warning. If you don't want to be with Colt, like, that's that girl. Like, you trying to get involved. You looking like you real salty, Larissa. You realizing that, oh, Colt wasn't so bad after all. And now here it is. You was complaining about a $500 a week budget, and bitch, that's the... Now you hoping you have that $500 a week budget. Look, you shot your own self in the foot. So now then, not to mention on that electrical machine, why was she sitting there like having orgasms? She's like, I love the pain. And she's like moaning and stuff. It's like, Larissa is crazy, y'all. She crazy, Jess is crazy, and Colt crazy for getting with either one of them. Y'all see his little white tail dancing on the stairs with them tight ass pants on, y'all. Colt, you had on that extra medium top and shorts. That's not it. You need to move on because those was not fitting. Had your thighs rubbing together. No, that shit was chafing. So moving on, let's talk about Paul and Karine. Now, hold on, let me flip my hair back. Shoo, y'all, look, this shit looking so nice. I'm sorry if it looks weird because I have the window behind me, so it might be like giving off a weird halo effect. But let's move on to, look, ooh, this shit look good, y'all. It just look good, y'all. Look, I'm distracting myself, okay? So let's get into Paul and Karine. So he is finally bringing Karine to America, and Karine is worried. She's like, I don't know if Paul's gonna have a job, where we're gonna stay. Like, she's hoping Paul keeps his word. Now, Paul already talked to his mom, and she said, you're not moving here because I know you, my son, you gonna sit here, get comfortable, and not do nothing. You're gonna sit there and not find a job, anything. So, so they finally make it to America, and Paul is already stressed out, talking about he trying to fit all the luggage on this one little cart. The mom's telling him that's not gonna work. He tries it anyways, the bags fall over. Like, Paul does not want to listen. And I think he's trying to have all these control situations because he realized in his life he doesn't have that much control. So he wants to be able to control the little things because overall, in the big picture, his life is not where it should be for a 36-year-old man. So he's stressed out about the bags. Karine's watching it and is like, she's already worried. The mom knows her son. She's like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna cut it. So after all the bags fall, he ends up having to get another car anyways. So they get in the car and, you know, she's talking to him about, you know, Paul, like, this is it. You're a grown man. You gotta take care of your family. He's like, I know, Mom. That's why I'm in America. Like, Paul does not like to be reminded that he's not taking, you know, full responsibility and being a grown-ass man. So, they're in the car and they're on the way to the hotel because Mama said you're not coming back home. And Karine pulls the baby out of the back because it was crying. And Paul flips his shit, you guys. She's like, you're breaking the law. The mom had to be like, Paul, shut the fuck up. Like, handle it. Like, let her do it. She's breastfeeding. And they were only, like, literally around the corner from the hotel. So he's like, stop the car, stop the car. She's like, no, Paul. He's like, shut up, Mom. So he gets out the car and starts walking to the hotel and, like, guiding the car, I guess. He wanted to play security guard in the street, directing traffic. I don't know what it was, but, you know, people in foreign countries, that's what they do. They don't have, like, they take their baby out and they'll ride with the baby in their lap, you know, in foreign countries. So that's nothing different to her. But Paul, like, you're not remembering that she is a foreigner. That's what they do. And for the fact that you blew up like that for something so small, I get it. You weren't even thinking about the baby's protection. You were thinking you're breaking the law. Like, he likes to try to always point out the bad stuff that Karine does to basically make himself feel better about all the shitty stuff that he does. That's all it is. So the mom's like, Karine, I'm sorry. Like, Paul is stressed. I'm glad you're so calm. She's like, yeah, I know. So they get to the hotel. And Paul is realizing he needs to take a couple of deep breaths. Honestly, somebody needs to tranquilize his ass. Give him some Valium. I don't know what it is. Some Ambien, but something to calm this fool down. Some Ritalin. So... Chico. Y'all remember Chico? He back, okay? Over here barking and stuff. So, look. Y'all remember Chico? Here he is. He trying to be in the video, I guess, again, barking and whatnot. So, where was I at? So they pull up to the hotel and they start packing all the bags, and the mom is, saying, Karine will be here. They're not going to stay, but, the baby, she'll be able to see the baby and stuff like that. So they get to the room, and Paul is trying to force all these bags in there. Karine's like, I'm glad to see America's, always what I thought it was. It's beautiful, the small houses. And, she's excited, but she's just still worried. Is Paul going to do what he said he was going to do? And, he's talking to her about, I'm going to find a job and take care of the family. My parents are not like yours where they just like come and help. My parents are wanting me to be a grown man. It's time for you to be a grown man, Paul. You got a whole baby and a woman you got to support. So we're just going to have to see where that ends up going out. But he needs to quit with all this stressing because he make my energy go bad. Like, Paul makes me stressed out. So let's move on to another person who stresses me out. And that is Andre and Libby, aka Elizabeth. Y'all, I could punch Andre in the face. I could drag him across the street. I could push him off the edge of the earth into a volcano. That motherfucker gets on my nerves. Andre is the most entitled person I have ever met and tries to be the man but can't be the man. So he is video chatting with his parents and basically making all the plans for the wedding and stuff like that. So he's telling them, finally we're coming to Moldova. We'll be there. And they're asking, okay, how the venue. And he said, we'll get there and they'll handle the venue basically. The parents are going to handle everything that Andre can't handle because he's in America. So then they start talking about, okay, where you're going to stay. And he's like, oh, we'll stay with you guys. Now, Libby hears that. I was like, wait a minute. Like, we didn't talk about that. Then they're like, well, how long are you staying? He's like, 3 weeks. She said 3 weeks. Like, Andre keeps making all the plans and not telling Elizabeth, homie, this is a partnership. And not only is this a partnership, this is an 80-20 partnership. Elizabeth bringing 80, your ass bringing 20. And the 80% is partially, 50 of that is coming from their family with the money. So you need to backtrack and start being a little bit more appreciative. And you over here spending their money because you feel like, oh, they're rich and they have it. Have you noticed how much he throws that out there? Because Elizabeth's like, you need to start talking to me. And like, you can't just be throwing that out there. Like, I wanted everybody to have a bonding time with you. Like, my parents don't know you. You could have showed them Moldova. Like, Andre is such an asshole. It's not even funny. So then they're like, what, like my family, like you're supposed to go around, like they need you to be, showing them around Moldova. He's like, oh, they can pay to get a translator. They have it. Really? That's his answer for everything. Oh, they can do it. They can afford it. So now Andre, the fact that Andre knows that this family is always there financially is the problem. Hush. The fact that he knows the family's there. Hey, shh, recording here. He's always bringing up the fact that they have money. Oh, they can do it. Oh, they can do it. So now she says, look, I'll stay a couple of days, but after that, we're going to find a place for me and my family to stay, period. So he agrees to it. So then they end up going wedding dress shopping for Libby and the family, the mom, the sisters there. And it's getting a little bit emotional because they end up finding a dress that has to be a little bit more modest because of the orthodox of the religion and stuff, everything. Her titties was popping out the dress because they were full of milk, the milk jugs. And the sister's getting emotional because she's like, dang, I can't come. Like, I feel like she was doing that a little bit to like see what Elizabeth would say. First of all, Elizabeth is letting Andre push over her way too much. But she is agreeing to it because basically Andre forced her hand. And the family knows that. And he threw it out there for a month because he does not want the family there. Andre's so manipulative. He knew to say, oh, we're going to do it in a month. Because he knew the family wasn't going to be able to come. He does not like the family because they constantly are calling him out on his BS. He's so used to getting away with his shit in Moldova, and now the family's calling it out, and he doesn't know what to do about it. He does not like it because he's so much the man, but you ain't doing no manly things, Andre. So the sister's like, oh my God, you're getting everything you wished for. You have, the long sleeves. It's gonna be a winter wedding, and they're hugging, and I don't like how they be like, she told the wedding dress person, oh, it's in Moldova. We don't know where that's at. Like, they do be doing that kind of like slick, jabs, comments and stuff like that because they're super entitled rich white girls. And they try to make Moldova seem like it's the worst place on earth. But bitch, y'all live in America. We are the worst country if you haven't been able to tell right now. this is the most corrupt country there is, period. But she's like, I got to do this for Moldova. It's going to be my dream wedding. And, we have to do it. I wouldn't have agreed to it if it wasn't for the christening. They can't christen the baby without getting married. That's why. So she's a little upset that some of the family members can't make it. But this is what you have to do when you got an asshole husband, Elizabeth. Like, you can tell at some point she going to have to leave him because he ain't it. He is not it. Exit stage left, Elizabeth. Run the other way and run fast, Forrest Gump style. So moving on, who else did we have this episode? We had Angela, Big Angel Michael. Now she goes to the lawyer to try and figure out her legal situations, and she's making a will. And she's worried, obviously, because they told her, look, if you don't put your will, you're married to him, he could take everything. And she has all those grandchildren, all them pups running around her house. She needs to make sure there's some money left for him, and she promised them that. So she goes to the lawyer and tells him, what she wants. And he's like, well, do you want Michael in the will? And she's like, well, no, but yeah, he deserves something. So she's going to split the house 50-50. That's a bad idea. I feel like the house should have been left for the family, and a little bit of money should have been left for Michael. That house clearly is obviously for, if the mom makes it longer than Ange, God forbid something happened. Like, the kids need a place to stay. And Michael, I'm sorry, I don't think he's going to be too much trying to take care of these kids if you gone, Big Ange. So that's a big concern for her. So then she gets done with that and then has to talk to her daughter Skyla because she has to be a witness for the wedding. And Skyla says she's not doing it. She does not agree with them getting together. She feels like they need more time. She's like, how do you know we can trust him? And at this point, they don't have the 90 days because his paper is not in. She wants to see, like, is he really going to be able to handle all these badass kids running around, living with my mom and my daughter? That's a lot to ask from somebody. 6 grandkids. That is a lot, people. Kids is not easy. 2 words will drive you insane. Them 2 words, I'm hungry. Bitch, you hear them words literally every 30 minutes. It will drive you insane. Trust me, I know. I got a niece and a nephew. It's crazy. It'll make you go insane. You be like, nigga, I just fed your ass 2 minutes ago. Kraft mac and cheese, noodles, crackers, Lunchables. You be like, dang, how you ask where you put it all? So Michael's not gonna be able to handle that. And then, like, her age, having another kid, shit, it's gonna be trouble. And they try to get Mike on the phone to convince Skylar to do it. And Skylar said, no, I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. So now Big Ange is feeling some type of way about that. So moving on, we have, who else was on this episode? Paul, Karine, Andre, and Elizabeth. Oh, Kalani and Asuelu. So Asuelu is basically concerned about going to Samoa. He misses his fam. And he called the sister, and there is a measles outbreak. And so he tells Kalani, and basically they need the kids to get shots. So they end up taking the kids to the doctor, and the doctor's like, yeah, it's the perfect age for them. One of them might be a little bit too young, but she said it's still possible for him to get the shots. And Asuelo, all he's concerned is, okay, if we get him the shots, like, we're going to be able to go, right? We're going to be able to go. And Kalani's like, it's not worth the risk. Like, you just said kids are dying. Well, if we go, we can stay in the hotel. We'll be safe. And it's like, Asuelu, first of all, maybe it is time to wait. Maybe you can find ways to save money. Maybe you can find ways to, make sure the measles outbreak calms down because those are your kids. Asuelu is a big-ass kid himself, and I honestly feel bad for Kalani because in the beginning, Asuelu was the fun-loving kind of type man, and now he's starting to look like his representative, as people say, is starting to fall down. The real Asuelu, which feels like a woman can't do nothing, it's all a man, because he looked at it, was like, oh, the nurse, we got away with the doctor. She's like, she was the doctor. He's like, doctors are boys. And she said, we don't do that here. She said, women can be doctors too. Asuelu is built in the country where women basically are just supporters and men are the one who do it. But really, women run the shit, okay? We keep stuff in order. We keep the house in order. Men would fall apart. Their lives would fall apart. Kids would fall apart if it wasn't for a woman. And Asuelu, he need to get his ass kicked because next episode, he said being a mother is easy. The way Kalani looked at him, I would have drop kicked him in that nigga throat, okay? So they end up leaving the doctor's office and, they're talking about how they're disagreeing. And he's like, we still need to go. It'll be okay. Just get them shots. They'll be fine. They said that she's not enough to do it. And Kalani's just like, it's no, like that's not what we're doing. And then wait a minute, we need to talk about how that sister of his is basically like Chantel and Pedro. When you haven't sent us nothing in a while. When you get paid, you need to send it to us. Like I hate how families who are foreigners, like as soon as they feel like their family made it to America, they're entitled to sending them money back. No, I don't have to. Especially if I've already done so much for you. The nerve of you to sit there and ask me for something else. So is that them? Okay. Oh, sorry, I was looking out the window. So Kalani, you might want to drop Asuelu too. Like you need to exit stage left, and then that's what it's starting to look like in one of these episodes. He was packing his bags and he was out that mug. Okay. Watch out, Chico. Come on, go. All right. So after Kalani and Asuelu, who else was there? Did we discuss everybody? We had Colt and Larissa, Andre and Elizabeth, Kalani, Asuelu, Paul and Karine, Ange and Michael. I think I talked about everybody. I can't think of anybody else. So that was basically the episode of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. So I know this video came a little bit late, you guys, but I appreciate you for waiting on it. I got my hair did. That's why I was a little bit behind. I was traveling out of town and stuff like that. Look at this, bitch. Yes, look at the pink and the purple. It just looks so good. I'm so happy that my hair is done. All right, let me stop flexing. Okay, you guys, but I think we talked about everybody. If I missed a couple, drop down in the comments and we could talk about it there. I appreciate all you guys, you know, for keeping tuned in. I'm going to try to watch Married to Medicine LA and get that posted. And then we'll finally catch up and I will do hopefully an episode of Daily Squeeze because there's a lot of shit popping off right now too. All right, you guys, appreciate you for tuning in. Before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch all you later. Deuces.